The stuff legends are made of. Okay, this is where things get a little grimy, so deal with it. Drugs and alcohol are often used to ease the pain of society. Move and think and process information as you're in a society where everyone has some kind of anxiety. Social anxiety in business is a good thing. It lets you know you're alive and are deeply concerned about the future. For this experiment, I was eating hot barbecue with a friend. Pause. Fuck it. And we got asparagus too. Plus flowers smell really great in the summertime. Walt Disney. I admire this guy because he is a pivotal leader in our community of entertainment business. Walt Disney inspired me because of the situations he rose from, successfully completing his mission which he believed, which led him to be one of the world's best. He and his company, beyond mere understanding, I can only assume the fear he endured due to his dream of becoming what he wished to be in life. He developed a new genre of entertainment with his art and the animation he developed. His thought his friends abandoned him during these tough times. I can understand why he would go such a route, but his employees should be well compensated for their decision of hard work and ideas, which I can assume is difficult at the time, tracking pay for basic ideas or intellectual property. As an American executive, Walt Disney faced disillusionment, discouragement, and low finances and doubts of himself, as well as investors and peers. The bottom line was Hollywood at the time was a city of making dreams come true. But I believe at the time, the guilds needed stronger rules into the entertainment community concerning pay and benefit concerning intellectual property, much today with like YouTube and the online platforms due to piracy and illegal downloading of copywritten materials. Walt Disney used a number of power techniques. I'm not sure if he knew at the time what he was doing. Of course, people need great leadership, whether it's happy times or times of punishment dished out for insubordinations. It's still a power technique. Legitimate power, reward power, coercive power, referent power, expert power. All these components were involved in Walt Disney's mission of success. Legitimate power was used because of who Walt was. His talents and ideas, information, was under his control because his ability to develop a legitimate company. He with the gold makes the rules, as the saying goes. Reward power. Reward power may have been misconstrued, which led to the company's employees leading a revolt against their boss, the chief executive officer. I'm really concerned about this because at times Walt Disney Studios was in fact deep in financial debts and general public scrutiny. Walt focused on his vision, and he had ultimate control over resources and rewards. The employees believed different. I'm assuming that their idea of what they should get wasn't feasible, but was what I think may have been needed. Coercive power was used at times as well. Power stemming from authority over punishments. He used this power technique really well because he basically ousted out all employees eventually after learning their true intents as far as the labor strikes. I've seen writer strikes before, and I have a basic concept of this technique used for an artist of any genre to attain what they feel they deserved. So, this is a really touchy topic. Coercive power was most definitely used, but according to my Cliff Notes, it's frowned upon. Referent power comes into play because Walt Disney had to eventually explain rules and/or requirements and make sure followers understood the consequences of violations. These basic concepts of different power techniques all go hand in hand with the entertainment business as a whole. I'm sure this was easy for Walt Disney to execute, but very difficult to live with those choices he had to make. I am aware employees would rather not touch investments or profits on a large scale, or who would be willing to dish out $2 million to create a Snow White or Pinocchio, but they are willing to cry that they are owed for such a small but important part of any business deal. Expert power was a main creditor to the development of Burbank's very own Walt Disney. With expert power, followers are likely to follow only if they have a need for the leader's expertise. This is a very important part of any business deal. Those artists and employees of Walt Disney Studios needed a Walt Disney. History needed a Walt Disney because of his ability to form strong enough relationships between different entities to successfully secure funding for his legendary projects. Creation may be easy, but paying for it is a whole complete different idea. It's totally different developing a world-breaking new form of entertainment, especially to the masses on a profitable level. This requires much skill because many artists can be awesome as an artist, but are business kryptonite when it comes to understanding funding. As I can envision the money that goes into brick-and-mortar businesses, I could understand why funding may have been low. I think at the time, the understanding of the industry was an important factor of why such mistakes were made at the time. This industry is difficult. It is full of pressures and setbacks and letdowns. As Walt Disney once said, God is in the detail. Every paint stroke of each character and general smoothness of the art is important, and the world loves it today. Liquidating assets, selling his assets to develop an enterprise, much less an amusement park? You be the judge of this. Tough times. The only easy day was yesterday. I pray for the mental strength to take on such a task in my lifetime. Successfully making myself a billionaire before 40.